Happy Halloween to Puritans and Satanists alike. As someone who's studying the occult, as it pertains to modernist literature, including esotericism, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and of course, Kabbalah, and also as someone who has denounced pedophiles on this very channel, video link up there somewhere, I thought I might give you a happy Halloween by telling you a story that's frightening and short. Today we're talking about Young Goodman Brown, an 1835 short story by American author Nathaniel Hawthorne, who often set his works in 17th century Puritan New England. Our protagonist, Young Goodman Brown, bids goodnight to his wife, aptly named Faith. Faith wears pink ribbons in her hair. It's this whole motif. Is this a pink ribbon? No, but I tried. Give me credit. This channel has no budget. Faith has this sweet and innocent little face, and she begs young Goodman Brown to stay because when he's gone, she gets nervous. But young Goodman Brown, being so righteous, so pious, assures her that if she says her prayers and gets to bed early, she'll have nothing to worry about. Then he promises himself after this one fateful night that he's going to be a better person. Walking into the dark woods, Goodman Brown fears that there may be an evil presence lurking just beyond his midst. Along the road, he meets with a man who's been expecting him, who carries a large staff that is curved like a serpent. Goodman Brown tells the man that he showed up to their meeting just because he promised to, but he says he won't touch the walking staff and simply wants to return home to his village. He explains to the man that he doesn't want to associate with him because his family have been good Christians for generations. But the man, much to Goodman Brown's surprise, says that he's known the Goodman family for generations. He knew his father, he knew his grandfather, and high-ranking officials of New England churches, and even the governor of state. At that moment, Goodman Brown and the man come across Goody Cloyce, who is a well-respected member of the Salem community and a very religious woman. Goodman hides just in time for Goody Cloyce to identify the man he's been walking with as the devil himself. She reveals herself to be a witch on her way to some evil forest ceremony. Goodman Brown asserts that he would like to go home for the sake of Faith. The man agrees to let Goodman go, but he gives him his walking stick just in case he changes his mind, and it can teleport him to the forest ceremony. Hiding once more, Goodman Brown hears the deacon and the church minister conversing. Against all odds, they too are on their way to the evil forest ceremony. Goodman Brown declares that despite everyone around him being evil, he will maintain his faith and make his way home to his wife. He vows once and for all to stay true to God. But then he hears voices floating from the ceremony, and one of the voices sounds like his wife. And when he calls her name, a pink ribbon floats down from the sky. Worried that Faith has turned evil, Goodman Brown clutches the staff and is immediately transported to the forest ceremony. The trees are on fire, and in the firelight, Goodman Brown can see all respected members of his community. The deacon stands tall and asks the satanic members of the congregation to please bring forward the new converts. And although young Goodman Brown's mother tries to hold him back, the deacon pushes him forward. There he is met by another person in a long robe, their identity completely disguised. The deacon tells them that the decision they have made will reveal all the wickedness in the world to them, and then asks them to reveal their identities to each other. Goodman sees that the other convert is Faith. Goodman Brown begs Faith to look up to heaven and resist the devil once and for all. And then he wakes up, alone in the forest. Returning to Salem Village, Goodman Brown has lost his innocence and his faith. Every person he sees is evil. When he sees the deacon praying, he calls him a wizard. He rejects the blessings of the minister. And when he sees Faith, he refuses to greet her. It is never revealed whether the forest ceremony was or was not a dream. But for the rest of his life, young Goodman Brown lives in a state of paranoia and distress. He doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't love his life. He furrows himself away. Young Goodman Brown no longer believes anything except the conspiracy that has taken over his mind. And I think we all know a young Goodman Brown. don't you? I want to chat about this story today in two separate but intersecting lenses. First, let's chat social media. Puritanical society placed specific emphasis on displays of morality. There was immense, if not fatal, pressure to be good. Goodman Brown meets with the devil himself, but it is only when he sees members of his own community doing the same that he is so shocked. He hides from them. Goody Cloyce, for example, is such a pious member of the community that he won't even show her his face. Although there are parts of his private life that he would never want anyone else to see, young Goodman Brown is shocked when the people around him do not appear in private as they appear in public. He is dismayed when people are not privately the same as their public persona. I think part of what Hawthorne is trying to say with this story is that these shared notions of morality are not always as shared as we think they are. What is left unsaid is not properly established. When we copy each other endlessly based on public persona, often the private lives go unchecked, and ironically, this isolates us from our community. What is kept private is often our downfall. We are social creatures who hold each other to a high standard, but we are fundamentally alone. Our world, especially online, is currently plagued with paranoia and conspiracy. We are drowning in false information, and this has only increased since the advent of social media. Since the pandemic began, belief in the conspiracy theory QAnon has grown exponentially, and we are just a few days from an election. I think the anxiety of young Goodman Brown is rooted in the protagonist realizing that the society that he believes in is susceptible to corruption. His belief system itself is susceptible to corruption. As a Canadian American, it reminds me of how a few months ago everyone was saying, well, that could never happen here, and now here we are. Whether it be protesters taken away in unmarked vans, they were. Migrant women seeking asylum being forcibly given hysterectomies, they are. Or a coup, we'll see. Young Goodman Brown is an essentially American story. And in it, I see the current American hesitation to call a spade a spade. As fascism spreads insidiously, often what can't happen here is what is already happening. Now is not the time to beat around the bush. Now is the time to call it what it is. Fascism. Conspiracy. Now is the time to say, please vote. Please, please vote. Goodman Brown maintains his faith that there are good things in the world, incorruptible things, and then he loses his faith. And his faith. There are already so many great video essays about QAnon, conspiracy theory, the state of the American electoral system. I'm going to link some in the description that you should totally check out, and I'm not going to be redundant. I'm not here to give the definitive video essay about Americana and conspiracy. But allegorically speaking, I can't help but see comparisons between young Goodman Brown and the biblical Eve. It's all in the serpent's staff. The young American is overcome by his curiosity. He follows the serpent. He goes too far. He falls into a place where he learns new, unlearnable, unforgettable knowledge. And whether or not it is true, it taints him forever. A lot of literary critics say that young Goodman Brown is about the fact that there is evil lurking underneath every virtuous society. But my question is this. What if the knowledge being offered by the devil isn't factual? What if it's all just a dream? What if none of it is real? Because let's be honest, which is more likely? Let's apply Occam's razor. That every powerful religious person in the village is secretly in a satanic cult that meets in the woods once a month to chat, or that young Goodman Brown fell asleep and had a weird dream. Technology has given us access to more information than ever, and a lot of that information may seem true, but it's not. Elections are unstable. Propaganda is more widespread and potent than ever. The members of our society who we expected to be moral, upstanding individuals are now identifying each other with signifiers because they have fallen so deep into conspiracy and immorality. Those who are in the know begin to see evil every single place they look. Evil is pinned on symbols. Take, for example, a slice of pizza, which is literally the most common thing I can think of. Dan Olson touched on this in Search of Flat Earth, which you should definitely watch. But every time a TV show character has a slice of pizza, one of the most common dishes in existence, QAnon sees evil bolstered once again. You can't do anything without seeing evil. I received this very coupon in the mail today, and I'm going to reiterate this clearly. There is no truth to the notion that there is an evil cabal of elites who are running a satanic pedophile ring and battling Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not saving any woman or child. He has been accused of rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment by at least 25 different women. These allegations are not new, they date back to the 1970s. Donald Trump was close personal friends with Jeffrey Epstein. These are facts. And perhaps the most terrifying truth about conspiracy theories like QAnon is that it begins to be hard to separate the myth from reality. There is a grain of truth, for example, in the idea that pedophilia is more rampant than ever, considering that the internet has given us access to a whole new market of illicit material online involving minors. That doesn't mean that the rich are eating babies to stay young. And conspiracy theories are currently drowning out, not amplifying, people who have been victims of trafficking and abuse. But when one goes down the rabbit hole of paranoia, one sees evil everywhere they look. And when you recognize that the public and private spheres of self are distinctly different things, it begins to feel even more hopeless. If young Goodman Brown teaches us anything, it's that conspiracy is as American as apple pie. It has existed here since at least Salem. The real question is, will you learn the facts?
Okay. My name's Jarvis. Hi. It was quite good when we were coming down here to get on the stage, because it's all like, I don't know. Oh, shut up.
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers.
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity. These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like, we'll send them in, we'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less.
Secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but we're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow.
At the crux of the theory is this belief that you
look like me, please don't turn out like me. You look like me, but you're not like me, I know. I had 1, 2, 3, 4 shots of happiness. I look like a big man, but I only got a little soul. Yeah, I only got a little soul.
Yeah, wish you could be an example. Wish you could say I stood up for you and I fought for what was right, but I never did. And I just wore my trench coat and I went out every single night. You think I'm joking? Well, try me. Come on, try me. Yeah, try me tonight. I did what was wrong, though I knew what was right.
I've got no wisdom that I want to pass on. Just don't hang around here, no, I'm telling you, son. You don't want to know me. That's just what everybody's telling me. Everybody's telling me you look like me, but please don't turn into me. You look like me, but you're not like me, I know. 'Cause I've grown away from the one thing that I ever made. And only wish I could show you, wish I could show a little soul. Wish I could show a little soul. I could show a little soul. Wish I could show a little soul.
Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, can you do me a favor and respond with a snake or a pizza emoji in the comments? Everything on this channel is made with love and also in the free time I have between going to school, university, and working a research job. So if you like my content, if you like what I do, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter, because I really couldn't do all of the things that I do on this channel without the generous support of such amazing patrons. I'd also like to give a shout out to a very special fan, Mary. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sending me those books. What a beautiful and generous gift. With a little more financial support, I think I would be able to open a P.O. box so that people could send me books and all kinds of other things. If you'd like to send me your favorite book and get a P.O. box going, once again, it's Patreon. And that's all, I suppose. Like, subscribe, please vote. Thank you. All the love in the world. Bye.